Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You're a really dull class.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring.
Biden crime family.
Why, you're getting nervous, man.
How dare you?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
You're wrong.
Puerto Rico. I will never apologize for standing up for an LBT. I intend to resign as party leader. LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
As prime minister. The level of admiration I actually have for China.
Oh, son of a...
But he called her a third-rate politician. He said there are communists involved, and you guys might like that.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Shut up, silly woman. America will never be a socialist country.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
America was founded on liberty and independence and not government coercion, domination, and control.
To collapse the liberal international order. He is the smartest man I know. You know the thing.
It's the Donald! Oh my God!
No, but I mean, it's not about, I know.
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Called the wrap-up smear.
It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk.
Please clap.
Welcome. Wednesday. If you're a European, I would never. ABF, how you doing this fine Tuesday, Norman?
Doing great. Just got back from the movie theater, saw F1, and really good movie. If you haven't seen a movie in a while and you're looking to get back into it, it's a great one too.
8.5 out of 10 is what you said?
8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I thought that they put just like people were saying with Top Gun.
European though.
The actual fighter jets, actual cars driving around. A lot of fun.
I definitely agreed with the Top Gun Maverick comparison. I didn't. It's like, just make it in space. Like did you watch that Redline anime? Just do that, but live action instead of F1.
That'd be kind of crazy.
And I give you much higher score. I enjoyed it well enough. Unlimited Pass, definitely worth it. Hayden, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. I just spent 3 hours setting up a computer for a 9-year-old, his first gaming computer, and Windows 11 makes it a bitch to lock everything down and to try to keep kids safe on computers. But hey, we finally got through it. It's done. And hopefully he is very happy with his new gaming laptop that I hooked him up with for his birthday. Yeah.
Go
PC
ahead.
Master Race.
PC Master Race. That's right.
Yeah, my nephew, he wants to get a PC, and every time he brings it up, I like PC Master Race.
Yep.
I need him to say it. I want my nephew to get in trouble at school for saying PC Master Race too many times, and his parents being warned about him talking about Master Race too much.
Yeah, his mom told me once. She just randomly mentioned, she was like, he wants a gaming computer. I was like, I'm getting him one. That's there we go. Like, if we can have somebody make the transition from playing on a console to playing on a PC, that's a win every time.
That's how you groom a young adolescent into transitioning into the PC Master Race right there, baby.
He will start Roman saluting in PC Master Race before long.
Our heart goes out to Breezy's Comics and Collectible. Member for 15 months.
Thank you.
Dang.
Thank you.
And he's not forgotten his favorite nickname for me, Gay Pizza Boy. Warms my heart every time I see it. It does. It actually genuinely reminds me of the good old days. Hoodie. How dare you? Mods, you keep an eye out on that hoodie. Well, actually, well, thankfully we have a mod right here who will definitely be keeping an eye on him. Absolute pleasure to have you all here. After our F1 review and our Expedition 33 review, we are going to start talking about some politics. Fine, whatever. I guess we're just talking about politics. Gavin Newsom. We got a couple randos to start us off. Gavin Newsom, he's the one having the podcast with all the conservatives on because look how moderate he is. Sues Fox News for $750 million, claiming network defamed him over LA riots. Is he looking very moderate to you guys?
No, the riots are his fault. Like, definitively, he can't control his state. So it's perfectly fine to say that it is his fault, in my personal opinion, and I'm sure the court will agree.
I mean, doesn't he say that everything is Trump's fault? So,
yeah, I think a lot of it is just some grandstanding and just giant lawsuit, and whether he wins it or not, it's just about look, Democrats, I'm actually doing something.
I'm fighting against them. Yeah, vote for me in 2028. Like, yeah.
Exactly. That's my thought, is what this lawsuit's all about. But Jake Martin hit me with a reverse lawsuit. Absolutely love getting to see that his actual name, Jake Martin, instead of what's the insane name he has?
Something about a fur coat, right?
Yes, a bunch of hyphens. It's like, no, YouTube, cats and dogs, stop it.
Yeah, YouTube seems to have corrected that issue. It seems like, spaghetti code got all screwy.
No, I think they're testing it because they did it to the comments too.
So
I swear
on Geeks and Gamers stream today and on Kirsch's stream today,
it went back.
Wrecked it. Yeah. Everybody
did it in error because of an update.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Well, they did it to the commenters and when you look at the comments in the back end, you can't see their names. It shows the @ So I think they're trying to do that to get rid of the scammers. But do you guys hear something?
Huh?
Now, how about a smooch, huh?
That actually makes sense for like moderation purposes to be able to see.
Yeah.
It rolled out with the XP. They're just tired of idiots.
I get it.
They're just tired of idiots thinking they're going to get free PlayStations if they give some Indian their social security number.
Well, remember, there for a while, if you were the creator of a video, you could actually look and see exactly who it was that was commenting. And I think they're just trying to clear that up so that now everybody knows exactly who it is, and you see the
I know who to blame. See, these are who are to blame. It's all the meme accounts.
Whoever runs that account is turbo gay.
Verging into terrorism at the least, I would say. Hopefully we got Pam Bondi looking into it. Gavin Newsom's got the big balls. Who else has big balls? Andy Richter. 20 years from now, people use MAGA the way we use Nazi today. Wait, who wants to tell Andy Richter that you use Nazi and MAGA the same today already?
and use both of them incorrectly, by the way.
Yeah, that's
correct. You don't need to wait 20 years when idiots are already doing it. Okay, thanks, Andy Richter. You make me retroactively like Conan O'Brien last now. Thanks. Speaking of...
They like to use fascist the wrong way also.
They don't know what that word means.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are the fascists. Obviously. You can tell because these are the people who just 36% of Democrats very proud to be American going on the July 4th weekend. ABF, are you proud to be American?
Yes, I am, which would statistically land me in the other side of that.
The MAGA Nazis.
Yeah. Obviously. Hayden, are you proud to be American?
Absolutely. It's my favorite holiday every year, celebrating our country's birthday. And
USA.
You know what? Next year, we got that big 250 birthday.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get
2026.
Double the size of the military parade.
They thought Flag Day was bad this year. They're going to lose it next year.
You know what's fun, too, is July 5th. Because then you get to watch a whole bunch of videos on Twitter of people blowing their hands off with fireworks.
Yeah. That's always fun.
And then you go out and buy the heavily discounted fireworks.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, that looks so cool. I bet I could do it without blowing my hand off.
Made it so far. I'm just saying.
America. So Democrats continue to spiral, death spiral. Still can't figure out what's going on. Why can't they attract voters these days? Why don't the young people love them? Dems wonder, is it bad that our new star is an intifada globalizing socialist? ABF, you have any?
I wonder.
ABF, you have any thoughts on why the Democrats aren't connecting with American voters?
Yeah, it's because they let certain groups into their party and didn't call them out for being scummy, and they're just part of the group now, and they can't kick them out now because that's part of the support.
The far left used to be the far left. Now communism is like the baseline for Democrats. Hayden, how do you feel about the future of New York City?
So I don't think this guy's actually going to make it into office, especially after, Trump doing his bloviating, saying he might deport him. But
maybe if he gets caught for like stealing someone's goat, but like,
well,
he's running against what Cuomo's going to go as an independent. Like he seems to be the shoo-in.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think it happens because this guy he had a rap video where he was supporting Hamas and terrorists. So
yes, we will.
He made that,
and
he put that on the internet. I don't think he's gonna make it all the way to office.
No, Hayden, you're being ridiculous. You're just being a far righter MAGA Nazi. Zoran Mamdani, if I'm saying that correctly, repeatedly pressed on whether he condemns globalize the intifada term in NBC interview. Spoiler alert, yeah, no, he still supports it. He wants to globalize the intifada. So we got like a PolitiFact fact check. I think what Trump called him a communist. Is he actually a communist? Fact check, no. And meanwhile, quote, seize the means of production.
Yeah, he was constantly saying, oh, well, our goal is to seize the means of production, and we need to not let that go out of our sight. And it's like, what? He wants government-run grocery stores in New York City. Okay,
because
run that experiment. If we're going to run it anywhere, I think New York City is the place to do it because we will see just how bad it can go, just how quickly it can.
Government can't do anything right.
Nope.
A goat for every resident, right? Magnum for 10. He also fooked the goat. God bless him. He also stole the goat. And then Jake Martin. God, it's so nice to see your actual member for 8 months. Intersectionalist left has devoured all other flavors of left. That's why you don't do purity tests. They don't go well, and the most crazy often tend to, and loudest often tend to win. So if you placate the crazies, as our side has learned, you don't give them an inch. The left has done nothing but give them an inch to where the craziest of the left have totally taken over the left, where now if you are like an old school Democrat, like a California liberal like Badger,
yeah,
like
you're a MAGA Republican.
Badger's not some crazy conservative. Like he's literally a California liberal back when liberal didn't equal communist.
You know who the most notable?
But now Badger's considered far right.
Donald Trump was a New York Democrat, and he has not changed his positions on things.
Hillary Clinton donor.
Classic liberal.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of transitioned into he's kind of combined that with Fox News boomer a bit.
Well,
but then he's got enough young people around him to keep him a little hip to the jive. I think social media worked for him because of his celebrity and his hosting and stuff like that. So
yep.
he was definitely made for that. But yeah, he's an excellent combination. But yeah, he probably does need to lay off the Fox News a little bit. But thankfully, he laid off the Hillary Clinton donations. Now, how about we put her in prison? Thoughts on putting... show of hands. Who wants to see Hillary Clinton in alligator Alcatraz? Oh, okay. Chat, show of hands. Who wants to see Hillary Clinton in alligator Alcatraz? Well, before we get to alligator Alcatraz, seizing the means of production is the end goal. Interesting. And as always, whenever you see these people, they always have a parent who's a crazy ass radical. He has two. So they got kicked out of Uganda when Uganda kicked all the Asians out, and then so he got to go settle in the UK, and then his dad's all, Palestine this, Palestine that, and then his mom studied at Harvard and is a Hollywood director, and I believe Hayden, isn't she the whole rap video situation, or is she disconnected from all that?
I think she's actually disconnected from the rap video because he was trying to be a rap artist in the United States. It didn't really go anywhere, and now he's going for elected office, like you do whenever your rap career fails.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. So, ABF, I need your thoughts on this. Globalized Intifada mayoral candidate Zohan Mamdani must be deported. So he loves himself some Hamas. He's been here since 2018. Do you think we should denaturalize and deport Hamas supporters?
I mean, I don't think so, because they're not actually breaking the law. If they are breaking the law, then I say go for it. Take it away.
It is.
But
it might be technically funding terrorism. Depends how far his support went. Because if it was monetary support, that would be funding terrorism.
You have to make a very clear and defined line, because if you start deporting people that you don't like, that doesn't look good. It doesn't set a very good, example. So
he rapped "Free the Holy Land 5, my guys," and the Holy Land Foundation was convicted in 2008 for providing support to Hamas.
They were actually convicted of providing financial support.
Yeah, he was not supporting Hamas. He was supporting those who were supporting Hamas.
Yeah, vocally supporting people who were funders of terrorism. So, yeah, that's.
So, and he's saying, I'm just asking for an inquiry, an investigation. I mean, Bros didn't globalize the Intifada, and he might be the mayor of New York City. Maybe have the FBI look into him a little bit. I would like to shut down like the Muslim Brotherhood and whatnot, having so much influence. All the crazy Ilhan Omars and all those people.
That said, I would also like to shut down New York City because it is a cesspool.
So I'm a big fan of letting people suffer, so hopefully they pull their heads out of their asses and learn from their poor decisions. So I'm a supporter of them learning some lessons. ABF, you seem to agree?
I think that shining a flashlight on everything is working out perfectly. So
yeah, Jeff, I know, and it's like, well, I feel bad for those living there, but you've had plenty of warning to get out. Yeah. But my first thought when I saw this guy was, oh, New York City is getting their own Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, where they bring in a Muslim to be in charge of London. And then all of a sudden, there's no white people in London anymore. It's so weird.
Yeah, weird how that happens.
Maybe they ran a campaign on, stopping stuff from exploding and being stabbed quite as much, Because who better to connect than one of their own?
That is, you are being racist against machetes, and we are sending police officers to knock on your door right now. How dare you? And VJ's got the right idea right here. I say build that wall around California and New York City. Yes. And maybe a little Chicago while we're at it.
Who needs Portland?
Let's start small, prove that it works. Stop and frisk works really well. So let's just take stop and frisk to the next level and remove the police and go full Hunger Games. What up, Jer? All right, we're getting distracted. Now back to the tabs. Okay. That was the fun part. Okay, so I'm going to blast through. I'm going to blast through World War III. So the concern was escalations would continue, and sadly they have a bit. IDF says it killed Hamas co-founder in airstrike. Israel attacks Gaza before Trump ceasefire takes effect. Whoopsie daisy. Iran vows it will never stop nuclear enrichment. Trump will bomb Iran again if the country enriches uranium to a level that concerns them. Oh no, so we're just going to bunker bust every few years? Terror alert. Iranian Ayatollah issues fatwa calling for Muslims to shmashmashinate Trump.
For people who don't know, a fatwa is the Muslims are declaring a religious war against Trump specifically.
He prefaced it with, and also finished it with that as well. It's a beautiful culture. So this was the concern. The hope was that he could manage to keep it done, but God, you can't really just drop a few bunker busters and say, all right, we're done. So now the concern is, as I talked about, attempt number 3. And obviously there's the Iranian terror cells that we got to worry about. But the other problem is that this gives our deep staters, those ones potentially behind attempt number 1 and 2, the excuse to take another attempt and blame it on Iran.
Well, keep in mind there was also
Concern.
the other potential attempt that happened that they have already blamed on Iran.
Well, Netanyahu
We just
blamed
don't
both
talk about
attempts on Iran, and then there's probably more we don't know about as well. And then feds bust house in LA linked to Iranian terrorism. They've been getting a lot of people leading up to July 4th because the concern is if they were to retaliate, they would love to do it on July 4th. Alex found this, the Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense, Beyond the Blueprint. So the same people who did all of the war game stuff for before the lockdowns, same people, and now they're saying that there's going to be a bioweapon attack on July 4th carried out by China or Russia.
Well,
That was
China's
what the
been
war game
caught
was.
like several times bringing in some sort of what is it, bacteria
Mold,
or
yeah.
mold or something like that, so that it would spread to agriculture and ruin stuff.
And then a week or two later, another Chinese agent got caught for something similar as well.
Yeah, that's insane.
So if they're going to pull something off, it's probably going to be July 4th. If we get past July 4th with that, maybe we get some Hassan Piker enjoyer who drives a truck through a crowd or something like that. But if it's going to be full blown, sees like Iranian state backed or are like deep state backed, it's presumably going to be July 4th. So if we can make it past July 4th without them trying to pull some big shenanigans, hopefully we'll be good. What the hell game? What game do you have behind you right now, Hayden?
That's
is
Mario
that Mario Kart? Okay.
Yeah. Mario Kart World.
I was getting like F1 flashbacks and whatnot. So the concern is attempt number 3 or crazy weird terror attack or a drone flies into something and blows up, or I think I would argue this would be worst case scenario. They've been warning about it forever. Oh no, we're gonna hit by a bioweapon. They're gonna do terrorisms against us. Oh no, they got WMDs. They're gonna release that. I think worst possible case scenario. What are you saying, Abib?
I do want to point out, though, that we did come to an economic agreement with China recently, and the tariff stuff has been settled with them. So, and that worked out mostly in our favor, is what it seems like.
Yes,
yeah, a lot of that the tariff stuff has actually been settled, or is in the process of being settled, and it's currently on hold.
And and the ones that aren't settled, I think it kicks in like a week or so, on like the 9th or something, is like the official deadline for a bunch of tariffs.
For other countries, yeah. So that's basically to kick people in the ass to give Trump an actual phone call.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what happened the last time he got an economic deal with China? They released COVID-19.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
So the East, they have saving face, and they cannot be happy about this whole tariff situation. And the people who win biggest in America getting pulled into a big war, the biggest winner is China. So there's all sorts of force, and then Israel as well, wanting to try to get us pulled further in. A lot of forces would gain from pulling something July 4th. So fingers crossed it doesn't. So there's the bad news. Got some good news in the War Department. I would love to double check this one. The Pentagon has halted shipments of weapons to Ukraine per Politico. Halted shipments of weapons to Ukraine? Wait, what? Trump had basically threatened to do as much. I can't believe we hadn't already cut them off.
I think there was munitions and things that were already promised and just haven't arrived yet. And they were going out steadily from the last administration.
And do I have it here too? No, it must be later, but USAID is finally getting its balls cut off. You'll love to see it. Okay.
And a lot of that funding was used to psyop the internet, I think. As I like to talk about the dead internet theory, I think that a lot of the support for stuff that we hate was fake online. And I think that USAID was funding a lot of that. So
I completely agree.
That's how the cultural shift goes back to normal, is when you get rid of the stuff that was pushing it.
That's what all like
artificially.
the disinformation, like NGOs and all that shit, they're all about that as well, and all that controlling it, because that way you get the crazy fake bots pushing their narrative, but then you also get the algorithms. The reason I'm here is because I made a documentary about the lockdowns, and they kept getting removed from YouTube for medical misinformation. And then eventually I was able to use that to get on Band.video, and then that ended up leading to me wanting to do the Culture War documentary, which then led me to Kinks and Gamers and all that stuff, which then led me here. So the Who running YouTube is literally why I'm here right now. It's kind of weird to think about.
For a time there, the Who was running almost everything. Like they had so much influence and control that's why they were able to pull that kind of stuff off.
I still think about the clip where the Asian reporter asked the dude from the Who about Taiwan.
Yep.
And he acts like he can't hear her, and then she asks again, and he's like, "Oh no!" And he turns his computer off or something like that.
Yeah.
God, so many people forgot how insane it was during lockdowns. But now we are in a totally new sane era with alligator Alcatraz and stuff. So Trump's had a big week, and he's had a very big last couple days. I think this is meant to be him saying it's bad? I don't know. In the past 24 hours, Trump's threatened Elon Musk, Thomas Massey, Japan, a judge in Israel, the CEO of AT&T, Jerome Powell, Canada, Tom Tillis, a Forbes reporter, Harvard, and migrants with being eaten by Burmese pythons in the Everglades while releasing a new line of colognes.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Is that what you voted for, Hayden?
I mean, it's pretty close. That's I have my couple of issues with a couple of things, but for the most part, yeah.
Oh well, yeah. There's some negatives, but then you read the Burmese pythons, and then that's +3 right there. So
yeah, exactly.
So I've been saying I want to just throw all the illegals into Squid Game 3, and Trump was like, "How about we do a compromise and do alligator Alcatraz?" And I said, "Deal." Well, he knows how to do the art of the deal.
Just a reminder too, the CEO of AT&T, you know who AT&T owns? AT&T owns CNN. He's currently in a lawsuit with them.
Wait, is it? Because I thought that was Warner
AT&T.
I thought AT&T was Comcast, right? Which is the NBC stuff.
Could have sworn AT&T was DirecTV, which got rid of.
You might be right, because there was that.
They're also
CNN
owned by
stuff.
CNN. Yeah, I think that they're all connected. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Warner Brothers just had to split off because they're such giant fucking failures, and they're like, "What do we do with CNN, our biggest giant fucking failure?"
It could be that they own stakes and not. I don't know.
Because it was
sometimes
it might not be full.
It's Time Warner and all that shit. Yeah.
You're telling me big media companies have incestuous relationships? I'm shocked.
Well, look at car companies too. There's no car company that exists that isn't owned by 50 other car companies. It's crazy. So.
All right, yeah. Who's the right one and who's the retarded one? Oh, Gooch is here. Gooch is the retarded one. Wait.
Oh, Gooch fact checked me. He said AT&T owns CNN.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I could have sworn it did.
I think whenever they had their big breakdown at CNN, what was it, at the end of last year? The AT&T bought the main branding that is CNN.
And Warner Brothers owns CNN. Yeah, because they just had to split them off into HBO, Warner Bros. In DC, and then they split off into CNN, TNT Sports, and Discovery.
Is AT&T somehow a parent company of Warner Brothers also?
Chat, someone do this for me.
This is there's a lot to this.
Parent company. Oh fuck! How much is AT&T? Oh, just fucking tell me. Bell, Time Warner also acquired Time Warner. And AT&T large shareholder, which is Warner Brothers. Okay, so AT&T merged with Discovery and Warner Brothers.
Okay, so that would make AT&T one of the owning arms of CNN.
Divesting itself of its media arm.
Divesting is bullshit.
So I think
that's just where they say they're not going to fund it anymore.
So it is Warner Brothers.
AT&T owned CNN up until 2018 when the merger happened.
Thank you, Grok.
But the CNN, or sorry, the AT&T CEO is probably still a piece of shit, and I have no problem with Trump calling him names or whatever, because telecom companies are not real people. They're not.
Oh no, yeah, like media, you can't hate them enough.
Yeah.
There's one guy who he programmed a Raspberry Pi to where he would constantly be like speed testing his internet every 10 minutes or whatever.
That's hilarious.
And if it fell below what he was supposed to be getting, it would send an automatic email to his, like AT&T or whatever to complain.
That's so great.
I love that.
So fully deserve it. Yes. Magnum dropping another one. Another tenor. Stellantis wants to make an electric Challenger. I challenge anybody to buy one. We will be discussing electric vehicle tax credits because I don't think Elon's very happy. He's not going to be getting his anymore. And
I have stuff to say about it.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we're at. We'll talk some BBBD,
Okay.
but yeah, ABF, why don't you go and give the thoughts you're about to say?
I think that the tax credits running out is actually beneficial to Tesla and Elon Musk, and
because
the reason
they're the
why
top brand, so the other brands absolutely cannot compete against them.
they're the only company that actually only make electric vehicles, and they're tooled to make only electric vehicles. The other car makers make gas vehicles primarily, and they've only made electric vehicles on the side because they're incentivized to do so. They don't make money on them. Ford tried making a F-150. They're probably the best car company in the world, besides Tesla, to mass produce an actual car. And they were losing like 20 or 30,000 per F-150 that they sold. So it doesn't make sense to make both cars.
Oh, absolutely not. And they basically just kind of got pressured into doing it just because there were all the crazy tax credits and whatnot. So your investors are just like, or the board's just like, well, we have to make them. They're trying to give us free money,
It's the ESG people trying to incentivize that also.
So
Correct.
that being said,
Shut up,
Elon was also constantly stating publicly that he wanted that gone because Tesla would come out on top. However,
yeah, but now it seems to
tonight-
have changed a bit.
actually tonight, Amber Duke, who is the senior editor at the Daily Caller, actually mentioned that a bunch of people in Washington, D.C. told her that Elon was, in fact, mad that they were taking that away. Like, he was calling people and telling them, don't vote for it.
And the question is, so he left Washington, D.C., went back to Tesla, and it been having some issues, and then the board probably was not happy with him, saying, no, we don't want the mandate. We don't need it. And then it seems like that might have changed his tune. And then that's when he started getting a little snippy, which is what helped start actually turning this into something. So I can't help but wonder if, like, the board reamed him one good.
I think it's being pulled in different directions. On one hand, the tax credits help Tesla, but on the other end, the people that can't think several steps ahead don't realize that if those tax benefits are gone, it makes Tesla a monopoly and is beneficial in the end.
But at the same time, I've been suggesting to my parents, if they get a new car, they should get a Tesla. That way, when they get older, I don't have to worry about like my senior citizen parents driving. They would have some autopilot. But now, if they get rid of the tax credit, then it's like,
Well, keep in mind, there was also the Biden administration mandate that they put down that said that everybody needed to own or you could only buy an electric vehicle as of, they tried to do 2030. It didn't go through. So it was 2050. All gas car production was supposed to stop by 2050. This is another thing that's covered in this bill, is that it rolls that back to where they can continue to make gas powered engines.
Yeah.
But still, I think I was going to say California and stuff still going along with that.
The California stuff, yep.
And it was 2030, and it's all about 2050. All that obsession with 2030 and 2050.
Well,
goddamn
California
Sustainable Development Goals.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, California is in a coalition with like I think it's like 6 or 7 other states. I think
No,
it's like,
it's
you know what I'm talking about, Hayden?
yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking
and
about. So
they
they're
just
basically in
they
a
directly
suicide
copy.
pact.
Yeah.
Yeah. They whatever California does, there are I want to say it's actually like 13 states
That sounds
copy
more like it.
exactly what California does, and it helps them move their narrative because then other states follow suit of the states. Like Colorado is one of them that follows directly with what California does. Same with
also.
Yeah, at Massachusetts. Like there's several of them.
Gayest states in the country.
Yes, it is actually.
Yes, accurate. So let's talk about this big, beautiful bill. J.D. Vance, our assistant to the king. I've seen many criticisms of the bill, and most of them fail a very basic test. Could those criticisms get 50 votes? Oh wait, sorry, I forgot how to scroll up. Okay, so that was like when you start the video with like a what comes like later in. So that was the little tease. The thing that will bankrupt this country more than any other policy is flooding the country with goddamn illegals and then giving those migrants generous benefits. He's been calling it the OBBB. What, one big beautiful bill? I think people were the BBB. Every time I try to look, it tries to tell me about Better Business Bureau. So I think they're trying to rebrand it a little with the OBBB.
That would be my guess.
Fixes this problem, and therefore it must pass. I mean, I like that. I like that part of it. I do.
The other thing of changing the branding to one big beautiful bill is that people like Thomas Massey and myself, we're single issue people. We want every bill to be on a single issue, not an omnibus. So they could call this the omnibus beautiful bill. But
remember when Trump said he'd never sign another omnibus bill again? God.
When was that? 20
He was so young and naive.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that was 2017 was when he said
it was when he signed whenever he signed the first omnibus bill.
I'm convinced that you can't get anything single issue passed just because you have to have, because it has to pass 50 people, right?
Yeah.
And you have to win over at least 25 of them plus, your VP.
Everybody wants their crumbs that are put in there.
Exactly. So maybe single issue just doesn't work. Maybe that's why they can't do it. I don't know.
It did work, and then we became corrupt.
Yeah.
They're always out to lunch. They can't ever get anything done. So could you imagine them having more bills? They couldn't go get drunk during lunch if there was more bills.
All right. You know what? That won me over. Okay. Our politicians need to be drunk. So
yeah.
Right.
And
then
then
have that day wine.
We will get to that 50 votes because that gets back to my how much I was bugged by everyone going about mandate this and mandate that. But first, everything else. The CBO score, the proper baseline, the minutia of the Medicaid policy is immaterial compared to the ICE money and immigration enforcement provisions. If you want more deportations, we need more ICE agents. If you want more ICE agents, well, the BBBBBB seems to possibly have that. We'll have to pass it to see what's in it. The CBO score, a lot of this stuff was... You can't believe the numbers all that much. The Medicaid, we'll get into it, is basically they're trying to get a bunch of illegals off of Medicaid, and then they're trying to take your Medicaid away, old and poor people. I've seen many criticisms of the bill, and most of them fail a very basic test. Could those criticisms get 50 votes? And this is when we get the cuck-servatism. And one of my issues with the Republicans is the cuck-servatism. And them always kneeling and to the freaking rhinos and the Democrats. I get it. You got to have the 50 votes. Then why were we all going... Oh, well, I wasn't. Why was everyone going on about mandate after the election? I let it go on for like a freaking week. And then I had to stay, okay, yay, we won, but it's not a mandate. It's a razor-thin margin. And then they stole like 3 more seats, counting an election for a fucking month. And then that razor-thin margin was the razorist. And I'm like,
it became one
guys,
seat.
This mandate talk is maybe a little dangerous. It's going to get some expectations all fudged up. And so... Now we're stuck between the Thomas Masseys, where Hayden, I want to agree with you, single issues, and the Thomas Masseys on these sorts of things, and I get why people don't want to vote for him. But then we also have the other side, where get into it later, Trump is straight up just going to be primarying the shit out of Thomas Massey. It seems like it's going to probably
Which is
work.
unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, but more on that later, assuming I didn't accidentally delete it. Oh, wait, yeah, here we go. Trump says Massey is going to be history. Oh, Trump. Back to JD Vance.
The thing with Trump is that you can't punch at Trump without him punching back. So.
I know, but he needs to learn how to pull his punches when they're against friendly people, against the same team.
His eyes are shut. His eyes are shut when he gets punched, and he goes windmill on him.
Well, he's literally punch drunk as well, because constantly everyone always attacking him, and then it's like, oh, my guys are attacking me too. Then fuck them, and it's like, Mr. President,
Thomas Massey.
Some of these people have the money to start third parties. Let's not do this.
Thomas Massey is one of the most MAGA people in government, as in make America great again. He wants us to go back to single issue voting. He wants us to go back to what do the people want. And that's all fine and well until somebody else wants their way, and then you're not MAGA, you never were. And it's like, come on, guys. Can't we just agree on a definition at some point?
And then that starts getting into purity testing, and it's just like, and we'll get into it. He uses against like Tom Tillis, against the rhinos and stuff. Good. Pull the punches a little bit with the other guys, but back to some BBB, but first Magnum for a $5. And now we have a bill that might have a bunch of commie trash. We literally are having a Republican version of we need to pass it to see what's in it.
It's the fucking Patriot Act situation again, honestly.
I was thinking Obamacare.
Well, I mean Obamacare,
it's
but
certainly upping military spending. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going with it.
And that's like the Ron Pauls and the Thomas Masseys and Rand Pauls and whatnot. That's one of the things they're having issues with. Which, yes, that's fair to have an issue with. The raising the debt ceiling $5 trillion. Also, something I think reason to be a little concerned about.
Well,
Hayden. ABF. Why don't you go ahead, and then we'll go ahead with the.
It still tracks with what Trump campaigned on to get elected, which is we're going to build the military up again because we gave a lot of our arms to Ukraine, and we gave away all of our arms, and then we had massive inflation right after, and now arms cost more probably. So
meanwhile, the Taliban
materials, materials cost more. The time from people's wages and stuff costs more. It probably costs more to make a javelin now, right? It probably costs like twice as much.
That's
we don't have any left. Yeah.
But also,
we used like 10% of our supply of missiles with all the Iran-Israel stuff.
Yeah,
interesting. Almost like China is going to be very happy to see us use all of our missiles up.
Yeah, I don't like the spending, but at the same time, like we had that, and we were okay with having those arms before, and then we got rid of them. So, do we build them up, or do we decide we don't want to be the world police anymore? We have to make a decision on that.
China be building all sorts of ships for their navy. We don't build ships for our navy. Hayden, you got thoughts?
Yeah, I was also told that we were going to balance the budget, and that was the first thing that was going to set America back on track to being the greatest country in the world, was once we started balancing the budget. And we threw that out the window and have never looked back, and I'm still kind of fucking salty about it.
Well, then there's the argument of, it's about the baseline. Consider that the OBBB fails, taxes go up, and ICE doesn't get its enforcement plan. The baseline here is not the status quo. So that's the other aspect of this is if it doesn't pass, it's not that we just don't get the bill. We get giant tax increases. So there's a bit of a deadline, and we kind of need to pass this stinker because we cannot let those taxes go back up. And I think that's in July. Like, it's coming up soon. So you're stuck passing it for that, Hayden.
Yeah.
So what do you want to be Mr. Principles, but also you don't want taxes raising. That's certainly not for your principles.
I already pay way too much in fucking taxes.
So what do you vote present then in that situation, or what do you do, Hayden? You vote present or no?
I think
Trump's going to primary your ass.
I think there's a way that they could have restructured this bill to at least have stopped tax increases and maybe focus on the
a
main
single
points
bill
for funding.
that extends the tax cut, something insane like that, perhaps.
Yeah, if they had to come out and say, "Okay, now we're raising the taxes. Here's the bill to vote on that."
Just to steel man that though, Hayden. Like I don't think that you can shrink the bill without them saying, everyone throwing their hands up in the air saying it has to be rewritten. And you can't rewrite it in a smaller way because then you have people that won't vote for it anymore. So like I think you have this like back and forth of it's going to pass, but no one's going to be happy, or it won't pass, and we won't get anything done.
AVF. There's also this situation. If you don't vote for it, Trump is going to primary you, and if you do vote for it, Elon Musk is going to primary you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mess.
So what do you do, Hayden? Do you vote president?
What you do is this shit never should have happened, and there has to be some congressional power to stop a bill that got passed a year ago and not allow all of the bad shit to come from that bill on a deadline that's at a time of another bill. Our government is so stupid.
I know, but it's stupid in itself into here, and you have to make a choice. Do you vote yes, no, or president?
I vote president.
Oh, then you're getting primaried by Trump.
I guess so.
I'm glad you stuck to your principles, but I'm sorry you're getting
primaried. I actually think the lesser of the two evils in this situation is to vote yes on it.
I just don't like a lot of shit that's into it.
I think there is more net positive, but God, that $5 trillion. Oh my God, that doesn't sound. When I was asking what was like everyone's favorite parts of his first 3 months or whatever it was, mine was Doge cuts. It got to 160 billion, and we're not even doing it, and then we're raising the debt ceiling by $5 trillion.
5 trillion. Do you guys realize we didn't reach 3 trillion in debt until what was it, 2008? And then after that, it's been a progressive raise in trillions that we add on to the debt. Now we're at Hayden,
Hayden, here's the thing though, is we keep having to have these debt ceiling fights. So instead of having to constantly have these debt ceiling fights, we just raise it an insane amount so we don't have to have it for another year or two once we hit that $5 trillion.
That's basically the argument. Yeah,
it is. But here's a really fun thought. What if instead we just balanced the budget?
And implement fair or flat taxes, or
I'm just saying.
You know who had a balanced budget?
That's not
that long ago.
In the bill, though, sadly.
Bill Clinton.
Yep, that was the last time the budget was balanced. Actually,
that was one of the greatest things that he ever did, and the economy was actually really good under him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but it's Reagan. Yeah, Reagan got out of the shithole, and then Bill Clinton's like, "Hey, we got a good economy. How about we sell everything out to China while we invite Chinese men with briefcases full of cash into the White House to do photo ops with?" So yeah, he had it, but then he sold it to China.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. And Reagan gets blamed for a lot of that. Reagan can be blamed for the rise of China on the world stage because Reagan did do a lot to bolster our trade with China, and it kind of got them set back on their feet. But then it was really Clinton that sold the U.S. out to China.
Yeah, it went from we're going to open them up to the world and to the West to how about we let them into the World Trade Organization? And even the crazy leftists back in the day had the battle in Seattle they had their protest, and then the feds or whatever sent in all the black bloc people to go cause the battle in Seattle back when the liberals were against globalization. Remember those days? All those protesting the world trade, China joining the WTO in Seattle back day now would all be considered far right bigots.
Yep,
it's kind of insane to think about. Okay, so JD Vance says pass the bill. And then we go down to AOC. Not one federal dollar currently goes to giving undocumented people Medicaid, and you know that. Because Anna Paulina Luna says illegals should not get Medicaid. This should not have to be said. So AOC says, don't worry, they don't get any of it.
So then what's the problem? Why is she making that statement?
The problem is that Medicaid spending on illegal aliens has cost taxpayers over $16 billion under voter czar Harris.
But wait, AOC wouldn't lie to us.
No.
Yeah, no. It's Republicans are trying to kick 17 million Americans off their health insurance. ABF, do you not understand?
Oh no, I don't understand.
They specifically hate those 17 million people. That's what the problem is.
So AOC is worried that Floridians are going to suffer, and they're going to elect a avowed communist Muslim as the mayor of her city.
I don't know why she brought Florida into this. Because it's
Anna
like got
Paulina
a high...
Luna.
Yeah.
Anna Paulina Luna's a rep for Florida.
Also, she likes to take jabs like at the weakest points of
So she was taking a jab at Anna Paulina Luna for her state, while meanwhile New York City's about to make a very poor decision for mayor.
Yeah.
Yes. What a genius. So yeah, anyone wondering here heard all the Medicaid fear mongering? Most of it is centered around how they're trying to they actually seem to be trying to get rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse, I think is how they always say it. And they seem to actually be going for that. But, well, the Democrat Party loves fraud, waste, and abuse because they're the ones receiving all of the kickbacks for it. And they're the ones giving all these illegals your social security numbers to get all of these benefits. And they're not allowed to sign up for the reverse fart benefits. Only I am. I got the gold, platinum, standard card. Reverse fart. Getting all up in here. I believe we have a clip for that. One moment, please. I'm playing a random one.
Mankind has only one chance to prosper. If you will not seize it, then I will.
I actually have a clip of an illegal coming here for benefits.
Give me the cash. Been here long?
Yeah, long enough. Come on, give me the cash.
The only person allowed to beg is me. Chat, today you can help sponsor a YouTube streamer for just $5 a stream.
I think that enough of my gifties go to illegals that people like Jessica don't get them.
That might be right. Your gifties are being stolen.
Instead of America first, it's like chat first. Wait, did we hit her? Oh, no, damn it. I saw her name, but it was just her. Oh, I don't think she got one.
Nope, she didn't get one.
You gotta actually grab them out of the air. I know it's tough. Here, I'll show you how to do it.
You have to put yourself in the line of fire.
Yeah, one of those. Slow motion definitely helps as well. Hold on, let's get this out of here. Let's see if I can do it. It's all you have to do. An ABF drops the 50 nuke. All right, give me a second.
Looks about that way, yeah.
This is like that drop test.
One more try.
Erwin can't get any of them.
Hold on. That was the test. I was test firing it, okay?
It's a test.
I was showing Jess what not to do, okay?
Now you got to reload.
All right. Yeah.
Tactical reload took way too long. Just saying.
Oh, look.
He got one.
Dude, you had to fire off an entire volley to get one.
I've been watching Generation Kill. I only got 2 more episodes, so I'm ready to kill one of them Haji kids.
It's good, right? Are you enjoying it?
Holy fucking gamer words! I thought that GCA's Discord had a lot of gamer words in it. Holy!
So I fired up the first episode just so I could remember if you wanted to talk about it, and I just ended up watching. I have all but 2 left also, and it's so awesome how many random conversations are happening just in the background as people are talking.
Oh, this is something funny, and as he walks away, you'll hear a little stray comment in the background out of just your right speaker. You're like, wait, that's so good and so funny, and it's just they throw it in, and so it's Isaac, have you seen Generation Kill? Oh my God, Generation Kill is made for him. And the main character, all like fucked up, like they always make fun of me, all like white trash and whatnot. The super racist,
Whiskey
like,
Tango
crazy guy. yeah, whiskey. I finally figured out what they meant by Whiskey Tango.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you got Fruity Rudy. Oh man, that shit is hilarious.
So yeah. Definitely made for Isaac. And shout out B-Man dropping a 10-month message. Thank you, ABF for President, Irwin Stream Games. Hey, you all keep being supportive, and one of these days, hopefully I can escape out of my lease early. Otherwise, a year, and then I'm sure as fuck escaping. Because thanks to you all, I'm building my streamer empire, and all I'm going to need one of these days is going to be working internet. But first, I need to have a working phone, and I need a home entertainment system for work, okay? The IRS asked the 65-inch television is for work.
You need a 5.1 sound system also.
I need to be able to hear my work. Yes, correct. Yep. Yeah, no, that was the plan. But I think my room and my setup is going to be good for a 5. Is it okay to have the speakers right behind my head?
You could have them just out on the sides of your ears. Yeah.
Put them on the corners.
That's acceptable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now what if I put my 65-inch TV about 7 feet away from me?
There's like a calculation you could do of what size TV you should get. It probably 55 sounds a little bit better.
I was going to get a 55-incher, but then you get like 65-inchers for like $400. Like, what the fuck? Back in my day.
Yep. I still have... So whenever they first came out, I bought a 75-inch Vizio TV for $4,000. I still have that TV. Right next to me right now is an 80-inch Samsung TV that I think only cost me $600.
See, I'm a AV nerd, and I really like the LG OLED TVs. So
yeah, the OLEDs are those LGs are really nice. This Samsung that we got though, it's the color contrast and stuff is really great. The reason that I got the Vizio back when I did was because it had an 80 million to 1 black and white contrast, and that was the best in the market at the time.
Yeah. Now the OLED just kills everything.
Oh yeah.
I have a phone that basically doesn't work, so I need to get a phone, and then I need to get a gaming chair that doesn't destroy my back through editing, and then I'm going to get a new car. And then after that, it's trying to get out of the ghetto and to get first world internet. So
search for first world internet.
I'm getting pretty close. You guys have been taking very good care of me. It's also very much appreciated. And as much as I want to turn this into talking about Generation Kill, F1, and Expedition 33, we got to talk about big, beautiful online drama. Trump versus Musk. Big, beautiful bill feud sparks overnight political firestorm. So, wow. This escalated quickly. So, I don't think, because they like updated it, so I don't think it's in proper order, but we get to the point where Trump's saying that we should look at deporting Elon.
He didn't say that. So a reporter asked him that, and he was like, yeah, sure.
We'll have to take a look.
Yeah.
Daisy.
And that was just him being like, that's how you answer questions to a reporter. You're like, oh, we'll look into it, you know?
Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, but
I think the media is intentionally throwing gasoline on the fire.
That is literally is this the gayest Star Wars ever? Yeah, 100%. But he could have handled it. He at least didn't say like, I think C-3PO is gay. Like he didn't say that like retarded, but he definitely didn't squash the feud. Elon, so tempting to escalate this. So tempting, but I will refrain for now.
See, he saw the gas fire and bought into it. Like,
well, it was so tempting. Okay, so he's reframing.
Yeah.
Musk continued. Oh, fuck.
Can I just say something really quick?
Please.
I think all this is really stupid because Elon
like
spurged out last week and then deleted everything. And now we're supposed to listen to him again?
But we squashed the beef. But like, the beef was squashed.
I'm tired.
We all are. But we haven't even gotten to how it escalates so much farther than this. Okay. Number 2 is destroyed by this insane spending bill. What good is Doge saving 160 bill when this bill increases the debt ceiling by 5 trill and makes mockery of the work? Not the worst argument. And how are we supposed to reach Mars if America goes de facto bankrupt? Also a pretty good point. Our debt is an enormous problem that desperately needs addressed. President Trump. Oh, God. Then, yeah, Trump dropped this. And, yeah, it's... Trump tells reporters on cuts in the mega. I don't want to go too crazy with cuts. I don't like cuts. There are certain things that have been cut, which is good. We're going to have to see the final version. Doesn't like cuts. I don't like to hear that. And then gets back into like EV mandates and all that. And then he goes extra retarded. We'll start at the beginning. Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Yeah, good. And Elon was even like supportive of it. Up until the board changed his mind? I don't know. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Exactly. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far. He's the king of carbon credits. And without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved. I don't like this. ABF, do you like this?
No, I don't like it. And for him to say that, it actually is going to work on the majority of people. That's the thing. Because if you look deep enough into it, you'll realize that Trump is being disingenuous by putting that out there. Because like we were saying before, Elon
both being a bit disingenuous.
Yeah, Elon has actually said in the past that he doesn't like the mandates either. And like we were saying, it works in his favor to not have government incentives for electric cars out there, because then he doesn't have as much competition. So,
yes. If only that's where this all stopped. We talk about escalations and alliances. Anyone who campaigned on the promise of reducing spending but continues to vote on the biggest debt ceiling increase in history will see their face on this poster in the primary next year. Liar, voted to increase America's debt by $5 trillion. And then like the AI art is so bad, he had to say pants on fire to explain why the fuck Pinocchio was burning.
That's hilarious.
I assume.
Because it's got the little word grok at the bottom right, so he has to say that to make it look better.
Yeah. And then Ron Paul, talks about how, as was easily predictable, all the carrots they hung on the big, beautiful bill to get House Republicans to vote on it have been stripped from the Senate version, correct? The only thing remaining is the massive increase in debt. As usual, Thomas Massey was right. Ron Paul, you're going to get primaried now. Elon, they just pretend to be two parties. It's just one uni-party in reality, and talks about debt under the Democrats and Republicans. Trump. He did not do any debt reducing, sadly. He did the cutting the taxes, which is good. Fully support that. Elon, if this insane spending bill passes, and then ABF, this is the real problem. This is when it moves from spat to actual problem. The America Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat-Republican uni-party so that the people actually have a voice. So essentially,
where
if you vote for it, Elon's going to primary you, and if you vote against it, Trump is going to primary you.
You know what would be great? What Elon is saying there with the new America Party is if it just replaced the Democratic Party. Because I do agree that if, competition is usually good, right? So if we have an America Party and the Republican Party, they will fight against each other in our favor.
But
that's not going to happen, though.
Problem of third parties, Ross Perot, or the whole libertarian party, as Stephen Miller has been going after, is totally ineffective. They're effective at one thing, and that's stealing votes from Republicans. Yep. Hayden, you got any thoughts on Elon doing a third party?
Yeah, the third party isn't, unfortunately, it is really unfortunate. It's not viable in the United States because all of your funding and most of your votes are going to go to one of the two big parties. If you have a third party, you are realistically going to pull at most 10%.
And they're not going to let you in debates. They're not going to give you interviews. Nope. You're going to be suppressed in every imaginable way. And the only votes you're going to be taking are Republican votes. So,
well, rare chance that you take a couple of not insane Democrat votes, but we are getting further and further away from that each time we have an election. So.
Yeah. So I was watching a Tim Pool video, and he was pointing out that it's mostly true that the Democratic Party is the oldest political party in the actual world right now.
Well,
there's other ones that have like changed and like rebranded and stuff like that. So you can argue those are older, but the Democratic Party is one of the oldest ones.
The Republican Party would be older if it was still called the Whigs.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not. It has rebranded. And yeah, the Democrat Party in the United States is if it's not the oldest, I think it's the second oldest political party in the world currently.
So this idea, often when like the Republicans really suck or lose like a midterm or something, people get really depressed and like, fuck it, we just need a third party. So some people don't hate the idea. Mario Nawful. The $5 trillion proof that America needs a third party. Elon is right. Debt ceiling increase. Doesn't like it. Yeah.
The problem is that he is correct. America does need a third party, but the two big power parties also need to be severely weakened before that can happen.
Yeah, we will get to the UK where something's going on where they have Reform K, which is replacing the Tories, which was like their Republican Party. But then Nigel Farage is Nigel Farage. So now we've got Rupert Lowe, who formerly of the Reform Party, is starting his own little party thing, but it can work there because they got like a parliamentary system, multi-party system, whereas here, third parties are fucking worthless.
Yep.
Also, if you were going to try to push, a third party, like financially and, build support, grassroots, this and that, it would probably take a generation for it to actually catch on.
Well, it would actually take longer than that because here's the news to everybody in the chat. We actually have like 8 political parties in the United States. You just don't hear about any of the other ones because libertarians are the most outstanding of a third party. So we talk about 3-party systems. There's actually like 9 systems.
Yeah. Like the less libertarian party would be the Green Party, which over in like Europe, they always have a Green Party.
We have a Communist Party of America. We have a Socialist Party of America. We've got the Green Party. We have several parties. They just can't get any support. They can't get on any stages.
And they Democratic don't have Socialists of America are definitely the most popular. The crazy lefties.
Yeah, for sure. And they can't get
it. Is voting for Tim Pool, apparently.
I would not vote for Tim Pool.
No, don't like that.
So actually, I'll go ahead and skip over to this then. Yeah, so Rupert Lowe. Today we're launching Restore Britain, a movement for those who believe that we need to fundamentally change the way Britain is governed. So it's basically they're building a policy platform and you pay like $20 or whatever and you can join the party and you get to vote on stuff. And then essentially they will just use their power to help influence. So essentially it's, hey, Reform UK, you guys are shit. We need you to actually get serious. So we are going to put political pressure on you. And then essentially they're there as a threat to where if Nigel Farage doesn't deliver, then maybe we will consider becoming an actual political party. And
Nigel is one of those cases of somebody who has done really great things for Britain. And then he immediately falls off the cliff of being an actual retard. And then he starts talking again and you go, oh, wait, no, you do know what you're talking about. And then he does the exact opposite of what he said he was going to do. Nigel's a mixed bag.
He's a little Trump-like with the narcissism and like the inter-party politics too, as if you say something against him or he's like, oh, you're gone, you're canceled. They kicked one of their, I think it was Rupert. They kicked out like their most popular, most effective guy because it wasn't, they didn't even Me Too him. It was the environment was Me Too-ish or something. They just alleged that there's workplace like sexual harassment, made up and kicked him out of the party.
I think what it was they said that it felt weird being around him and boom, he was out of the party. Like that's all it took. It was just, I felt uncomfortable once.
Let's see. Reform sparks. Yeah, Reform UK faces political oblivion as Rupert Lowe suspension sparks member exodus. So the only reason they can even pull this off is because of the political situation in the UK, where the Tories had power for like 14 years, 12 years, 14 years, something insane.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's when you got like Boris Johnson and all that, and then the last one they had was Rishi Sunak. Full-blown globalist, was so terrible and so far left that the British people had no choice but to vote for Labour, despite the fact that Labour would make things way worse. But they voted in Labour, and then within like a month, Labour was pulling in the absolute fucking dirt, and Reform UK comes up and immediately starts taking over the polls because the Tories were so wildly unpopular. They instantly were able to replace them as the major Conservative party, which was great. But then Nigel Farage did Nigel Farage things, and it looks like they're going to be a bunch of conservatives. So now you got someone being like a stalking horse or whatever, basically someone there trying to keep them, do that self-policing, make them actually keep their promises and actually get a little more hardcore. And then if you guys don't do that, then we'll become a political party. So hey, that works. I think it's a good idea. That works. But in America, a third party is just an absolutely retarded idea.
Yep. Can't happen. Like I said, we have 7-8 different parties, and our number 3 party can't even get on the stage for a debate. So don't just stop with that shit.
So because of this, Trump has threatened to primary Tom Tillis, big old rhino, and Tom Tillis said, well, then I'm not running for re-election. That's good. I like that. I like Trump using his power to get rid of rhinos. That's a lot better than him saying how much he loves Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell and all that crap I always hate hearing.
I agree.
But then Trump says Massey is going to be history. And then they're doing the polling, and it looks like Massey's done for. Hayden, thoughts?
So Massey got into power with the help of his wife, who tragically died unexpectedly last year. And he's done a really good job of like sticking to his values, and whenever it's something that he is against, he stands up and says no. And that's what we need in our government. We need people to be the contrarians. We need people that will stand up against the mass power. That's what our entire government system was designed based on.
We still have Susan Collins in our party, right? As a senator. And Thomas Massey is the problem in the Republican Party?
Thomas Massey's the problem.
Really?
This is absurd. Massey is one of those that he's a guy just like Ron Paul and Rand Paul. And he sticks to his principles.
They suck, but you need them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Murkowski, Susan Collins. Yeah. He's still buddy with Lindsey Graham and whatnot. He'll occasionally throw some shade, but he still loves a bunch of those terrible, Kevin McCarthy and whatnot. He like endorsed all those people. And
the last
Thomas Massey's where you draw the line.
The last midterm election, all of the money that should have been spent in Arizona was spent in Alaska to elect Murkowski in their choice voting, by the way. Retarded.
That's something, ranked. That gets into like parliamentary and stuff and whatnot. It's like F1. He got everything by just cheating essentially in the race, and they love doing all their dirty tricks and whatnot. Another reason why we're talking like third party doesn't work. Parliamentary systems, you can have like hardly any support but still be in power, and it's a whole cluster. And I think we can all agree we just want to see Elon and Trump kiss and make up on live TV, pay-per-view. Pay-per-view. Trump and Elon kissing. Make it like $100 and then use that money to pay down the debt. Thoughts? How much would you pay to watch Elon and Trump? Just a little peck on the lips. Like two straight dudes who are like, we're doing this for the good of the country. How much would you pay for the good of the country? $100? Does that seem reasonable?
I'd be more okay if they like did the whole like fake, over the hand kiss maybe.
So you want them to do like take a knife and then do like the blood handshake, like fucking Natural Born Killer style?
Here, I'm gonna share my screen.
Oh no, spit in the hand and then shake, because Trump is like afraid of germs, so that would be a big deal for him to do that.
I like it. What do you mean, Jess? We're trying to save the country. Okay, we're in a lot of debt. We need to think outside of the box. What if America started an OnlyFans account? Those girls make a lot of money. Wait, actually, genuinely, fuck federal employees, but let's hire a bunch of hot Instagram models and start OnlyFans accounts run by the government. The only profitable thing the government will ever do. Call that gay, Jessica. I dare you.
I bet you there's already government officials in some psyops on OnlyFans.
Have you guys not seen what's her name?
That
chick on YouTube that's in the fucking army, who's like insanely hot, and Luhan.
Oh, they do that. Yeah, they get the hotties to propagandize people to join the military.
Yep.
Yeah,
he just makes fucking TikToks and YouTube shorts. She's insanely hot, and she's just in the army trying to get everybody to join the army.
And Paulina Luna was essentially one of those, right?
Yeah. Here, Erwin, I got something I'm sharing for you that I just pulled off of Twitter that I think you need to see.
Did McCracken whip something up?
McCracken did, and this is closer to what's actually happening.
Was so freaking fast.
I was gonna say this. This is one of those times where AI giving you extra hands is actually a good thing. It works perfectly here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I feel like I'm trying to like rip Elon's. Oh wait, yeah. Oh, neither of them are happy about it. My favorite part is I always like looking at the figures. I have a lot of Superman figures.
Yeah, you have the same one over and over.
Ooh, I want the one on the right, like business.
The one that's suit here.
Yeah, he looks like
kind of nice.
I think it felt compelled to do a business suit one because Trump was wearing a suit or something.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Looks like what Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, like Superman instead of a reporter. He's a lawyer. You love
one of them was almost Batman, except in blue and red. So it looks like he's wearing a cowl. I don't know what's happening.
Wait, what do you mean? You can't tell what his hand's doing? It's obvious.
No, this one. He looks like he's wearing a cowl. Like he's wearing the Batman cowl.
No, it looks like
Two-Face is Batman.
It looks like Trump's left hand is like caressing your belly.
Oh wait, I have a Batman shirt. I didn't even realize it. Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, you do. You have a Batman shirt.
It's good.
They turned Bloodruth into Batman.
And you know what's funny is your MAGA hat doesn't fit on your head, just like real life.
I wasn't even wearing my MAGA. Let me get it.
It's always like hats don't fit me right. That's exactly what that looks like.
Yeah, that is an ill-fitting hat for sure.
So let's see if I can recreate it. All right, so here we go. I got a big smile. Am I doing it right, guys? Oh wait, no, we need more hands. We need an extra hand.
Here. There you go. Now you're bigger.
I know, but I have to look at the artwork to paint it. You know.
Okay, fair.
Really appreciate you, Mark Kraken. Genuinely, the people doing AI memes of me. It's I finally made it kind of situation.
Yeah, McCracken, that was great.
Mine just looks like a pee on most of those because of my avatar.
Well, yeah, the finger.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, AI we were told on Monday that whenever your username leaked, it was actually Alec Baldwin's wiener, not finger.
No, that's fake news. You were watching CNN when you heard that.
I was watching your stream, sir.
I didn't see Community.
I was on it.
Actually, it was CNN, so it's very fake news. Thank you.
CNN no longer owned by AT&T. We may have fake news about CNN earlier. Wait, we gave fake news about CNN. Granola Grin, member for 1 month. Erwin be like Lincoln Hawk from Over the Top. Turns his cat backwards. And he snaps both their wrists. Yeah, actually, I do like that. Yeah, I do like a very strong but firm, where it's like the implication, where it's like, you guys make up or I'm ripping both those arms off. And I'm turning this car around, young men. The Supreme Court finally did something right. Jesus Christ. The Supreme Court just delivered a huge win on birthright citizenship. That was big, but the biggest part, they also reaffirmed that rogue district judges can issue nationwide injunctions to stop President Trump from carrying out his agenda. This is a big, big deal. It is. ABF, looks like you got thoughts on it?
I still cannot believe that both those things happened at the same time and that they happened to begin with.
I can't believe Ketanji Brown Jackson's dissent of the decision that random lower courts can't control what the president does. Like, she wrote the dissenting opinion on it, and it was gibberish and nonsense, and even her colleagues were like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
We ain't got none of them like executives and shit, like all imperialist shit. Imperialism's bad shit.
Her dissent is so terrible. It's so funny to read, though.
She was hired for being a black woman by an auto pen.
Yes.
Maybe we should consider firing her.
Yeah.
Just a
She'll be pushed out within the next. So if they're gonna hold on to her until the next time Democrats take the presidency, and she will be out, I would almost bet my life on it.
No, well, yeah. Wait, who's the oldest of them? Like Sotomayor? Who would be the next one that they would boot out to get a youngster in?
Well, it would typically be Sotomayor, I believe, but Kaczynski just damaged their clout so much with this dissenting opinion that all of them basically came out and went, yeah, I mean, we don't agree, but like what she's saying doesn't make any fucking sense. So...
It's like John Roberts is like, I'm John Roberts, and even I'm like, what the fuck, girl?
Yeah.
So, obviously, the Democrats are very upset because Trump is now a king. Here's the problem. The Biden administration argued exact same thing as Trump administration on injunctions. Yes, the Article 3 courts too, which like aren't even like in the Constitution. They were like created or some shit. And then all the... No, it is stupid. You shouldn't be able to do the nationwide injunctions. It's retarded. And the Democrats complain about it all the time. Meanwhile, now they're calling him a king. I'm glad that we don't have the federal judges being kings. Hayden, you seem to agree?
I do, but I also just was thinking back fondly on a couple of weeks ago whenever Trump goes, "You call me a king? I don't feel like a king. It's a lot harder to get things done than it would be if I was a king." Like, yeah, that's kind of
Justin Trudeau admires China's basic dictatorship because they get things done.
Yeah. Our entire governmental system was designed to not get things done, which is a good thing.
I like not getting things done. I like when bills don't get passed. That's why when Thomas Massie votes no on everything, I kind of like it.
Yep. Because it was designed to be a stopgap for somebody coming in and just taking over power and doing whatever the hell they want.
Well,
and then executive orders happened. And
what about this as an argument, though, Erwin? You know, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but since Massie doesn't want to vote with the Republicans, it causes the Republicans to reach across the aisle more. Yeah. And that's how you end up with omnibuses, you know? So like, there's kind of an argument to be said with that, because
that Trump has the whole mandate thing, though.
I know.
Because you got your rhinos and you got your libertarians. So you already know.
Because where Trump is coming from is that Massie has voted against everything that Trump has ever wanted to pass, including the border wall. And yes, I get there's, a bunch of pork in it or whatever, but he's literally never voted on the side of Trump. So he just sees him as an enemy.
Well, Massie has voted against everything since he got into Congress because his stance is it's an omnibus bill. No.
Yeah. The thing I like Thomas Massie for the most is his knowledge and expertise on those committees that are formed, right?
Yeah.
He's very, very knowledgeable with a lot of stuff.
He is. He's a very smart man.
I just can't say that I agree with him the way he actually votes. Because, there's greater good stuff, and I get,
Of those who don't vote with Trump, he is the least of those problems. So if Trump's going to primary him, he has a lot of Republicans he needs to primary.
True.
I agree.
Okay, that's yes, 100%. That's the whole standards, principles, integrity. Okay, you're going to have those standards and principles for Thomas Massie. We got a lot more motherfuckers being primaried then.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, before we get to
John Cornyn out of Texas. Fuck that guy.
Before we get to Homeland Security dropping AI memes, Justin Channels, member for 7. Why did court policy reject beef stew as a new password? It was not. ABF, would you like to take this one? Now that
2 thumbs up. It was not strong enough. Stroganoff.
Stroganoff.
But we're just gonna say strong enough. Yeah. And as a network administrator, I like that dad joke.
Do you use Leet Speak for your passwords, or do you just have one number like a normal human being?
Oh, mine is password 1 with a capital P.
Wow.
Yeah, no one's gonna guess that, right?
And then whenever you change it, you just add an extra 1 onto the end of it.
Yeah. That fools them. You would think it would be password 2, but no, it's password 1-1.
Yeah, you do 1-1.
Got him.
Mm-hmm. I actually just do $20 signs in a row. It's gangster. But sometimes I accidentally do like 18 or I have to count the little asterisks every time. I really should not have done it. But if I can't log in, the hackers can't log in either. So, Homeland Security dropping fire memes on Twitter. Hold on, let me make sure I'm Department of Homeland Security dropping fire memes on Twitter.
Hell yeah. I love this.
Is Hayden, is this what you voted for?
Yes, the meme magic is back. The thing that won Trump office and like clenched the power while he was in office was the memes. And they're back. And now they're back in an official capacity. We've had the White House, we've had ICE, we've had Homeland Security, all dropping crazy AI memes.
Wait, how the fuck does Homeland Security have 2.5 million followers?
Everybody
Who the
wants
fuck
to know.
Follows? Wait, who's on here? Like
all
Dan
the
Bongino?
all the government.
All
the government bot accounts probably follow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say if I see like Jessica in here, I'm shaming her. Okay. Thankfully, no, it's just government employees and all the government employees that I follow.
I mean, if you're gonna like cover current events, you would probably want to follow that account. You know what I mean? I know it feels shilly to do it, but
the alligator meme made it worth it.
Oh God, everyone's telling us. I know, but like follow up. Everyone's telling us their passwords now. Jeff up north. What? Oh God. What did the buffalo say to his son when he went to college? Bye, son.
Bye, son.
Well done, Jeff.
I actually like that one. That's been a long time favorite of mine.
Jeff, you're on the list. You are officially invited on the show. I'm too lazy and forgetful and busy with Expedition 33. You're welcome on the show. Feel free to message me to help me remember. Gun Ho's password is 123456789. That's the password to my luggage.
Oh, well, don't tell that to any of the nuclear disposal experts.
Wait, why?
Remember the nuclear waste person that kept stealing luggage? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like nuclear football, not like drag queen nuclear scientist.
Well, but if you get the TSA involved, they'll just cut the lock off and then damage the zipper on your luggage and it'll never fucking close again, even though it cost you $95 right before you went on a trip. So there was that.
I feel
I'm
like
kind of
you
mad
owe
at
us.
TSA.
I was gonna say I feel like you owe us for therapy now.
Yeah.
My God, it's a $200 an hour rate. Just a heads up. Okay, my secretary will bill you. So, Department of Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem, Chief Memer, working with DOJ rather to prosecute CNN for promoting ICE tracking app. Wait, what? So we had the super fun alligator Alcatraz press conference today. Did either of you guys watch any of this?
Yeah, I watched some of it.
I didn't watch it. I only heard about it.
It's kind of some must-see TV. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Really?
would you agree? Like, Trump was pretty in his prime.
He was showboating the whole time, and Kristi Noem was there as the eye candy, and it wasn't bad to watch. Not at all. She was walking around in that all white with that red MAGA hat on, and like, boom, look at this. We've got these great facilities. Like, yeah, it was pretty good.
It's like, yeah, he kept talking about how cold it was. They're going to complain that it's too hot, but it's like 60 degrees. We have the coldest facilities. You know, we tested the runways and stuff like that. And yeah, okay, so he was in top form. And what was great was they had a bunch of normal conservative media there. Like Benny Johnson got to ask a bunch of questions, Savannah Hernandez and stuff like that. So real media actually got to be there. So they asked some interesting questions, and obviously one of them asked about CNN was promoting that app, the ICE, I forget what it's called, but it's basically for tracking ICE. And also maybe they were doing a little bit of doxing ICE agents for harassment in there, maybe a little. And so CNN was promoting it. So hey, can they do that, Kristi Noem? And Kristi Noem's like, you know what? We'll look into it. So
They should look into it.
We got several we'll look into it today.
We're working with the Department of Justice to see if we can prosecute them for that. What they're doing is actively encouraging people to avoid law enforcement activities and operations. What they're doing, we believe, is illegal, just like AOC, who I'm assuming they actually are probably looking into. The word on the street is, they are looking into her for various things, one of which is that. So then we also had, oh wait, before we move on, Redditors furious that they can't dox ICE agents. Can you provide specific rules around the mentioning and discussion of ICE list info? So apparently you're not able to post it, I'm guessing is what they were doing. Basically, they were cracking down on them.
That website specifically was doxing ICE agents. So they made this post in an attempt to post the doxing website that the post had gotten taken down before for mentioning.
But it's cool because the site's operated by UK journalists. Why are UK journalists doxing American federal agents?
Because every country's involved.
It's specifically designed to only publish publicly available information. It's cool, bro. It's public. Nothing that would be traditionally thought of as doxing. We can't let the federal government, or Reddit for that matter, stretch the definition of doxing to include the revelation of the identities of specific agents of federal law enforcement. Something that should be freely available in any democratic society. Why do you want their information? Why do you want it? Why do you want it? To harass them.
I've got an issue with the way that they do this whole, with the definition of doxing. Publicly available does not mean that you did not have to dig for it. And that's the definition that they try to use. So whenever you're having to pay sites to get information because, it's publicly available information, but you have to pay $20 to get this information on somebody. It's like, okay, that's not what we would call publicly available.
1000% has a subscription to whitepages.com, which is genuinely how a lot of doxing is done. Whitepages.com has all of your last residences and shit.
Yep.
That's why whenever they try to dox someone and harass someone, all of the previous homes you've lived in, including often your parents, will be attacked and harassed, literally because they go to whitepages.com.
They have all of your phone numbers.
They're journalists, though, bro.
But it's publicly available. You just had to pay $50 a month to have access to it,
and then point all your followers to harass that person with that
publicly available information.
But
Absolutely.
if you call them out, then Alyssa Mercante will lawsuit your ass and act like a victim. Sorry. Fuck that cunt. All right. Next piece of shit. Alejandro Mayorkas. Should we arrest him for aiding and abetting an invasion of our country?
Yes.
Also runs a big NGO. That's a big part of getting all the illegals in and getting lots of government money. So it was asked, hey, should we maybe, arrest someone for the biggest human trafficking operation in at least modern history? And the thought was, we're looking into it. Hayden, do you think we should go ahead and make an example of Mr. Mayorkas?
So I do. And he's one of my most hated government officials from the Biden administration, because while I was standing in line at the airport in 2022, getting ready to go to Las Vegas for the FNT meetup for the very first time, Alejandro Mayorkas was on every TV in the security line. And he was giving this whole speech about how, we have to be safe and people should wear a mask, even though the health agencies aren't calling for it anymore. It would be a good idea. And you need to have your what's that? The new government ID where they have the
real
little,
ID.
The real ID. It's you need to have your real ID within the next couple of months. Also, if you see people being escorted up to TSA employees, they might not speak English and they are just getting assistance. And then I watched a fuck ton of them cut line and just be ushered like through security.
VIP status, human trafficking.
I watched it happen. They had envelopes, couldn't speak any English, and were just brought through.
And Catholic and Jewish charities working with like cartels and shit were the ones doing it. Yep.
And Alejandro Mayorkas orchestrated all of that. And he deserved to serve the rest of his life in prison.
Part of one of those Jewish charities who does the human trafficking. So he's literally, he is a human trafficker, essentially was put in charge of human trafficking, arguably the biggest human trafficking operation in at least modern human history.
You could argue it was the Department of Human Trafficking for that time being, honestly.
Trafficking, man. Yeah, what up? Literally, yeah, our Border Patrol were turned into like a chauffeur service for the cartels, essentially. Kids would just have like a phone number and name just like pinned to their shirt. You call them, you say, "Is this your kid?" And they go, "See," and then they just send them the kid.
Yep.
Well, do you guys remember Tenet News Media, where the people to uncover that they were being flown around like crazy, and it was right after AmFest in Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, and then shortly after, all of a sudden they were tied with some sort of Russian funding operation. Like and they were pissed that they got revealed.
For those who remember, Alex Jones and Drew Hernandez was with them stopping a car because they were literally like they caught them doing that, trafficking the kids, and Alex Jones was like refusing to let them leave and standing in front of a car. It was when they were trafficking all the kids. Then literally,
it was kids.
Our government literally worked with the cartels to human traffic children for unspeakable things, and we fucking paid for it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think maybe let's arrest Alejandro Mayorkas. I mean, the amount that they've persecuted Trump, Jesus Christ. You can at least indict his ass, get him to spend some fucking money on some lawyers. Jesus Christ. If you can drop bunker busters for Israel, you can prosecute fucking Mayorkas. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, but Gunhill Back's comment is making me laugh on the inside a lot.
This one?
Yeah, my orchestrator.
Yes. I saw.
He knew that was on my level of humor, so
I was like, it wasn't. He could do better, but then I was like, I bet ABF would like it, but then I was like, and then I got distracted. So
yeah,
I almost pulled it up.
8 out of 10. Like 8 out of 10.
Well, now I'm starting to doubt your F1 rating. Okay, a little bit more good news before we get out of here. USAID just officially stopped all operation. I'm gonna need to look further into that because that is incredibly good news if that's true.
That's gonna take some digging though, because USAID is a massive thing, so.
Gonna need to pull up by the roots for sure. And get rid of USAID, and then can prosecute Act Blue. That's another one. If we can drop bunker busters without declaring wars and shit, we can get rid of Act Blue.
Good luck prosecuting Act Blue.
So Chuck Schumer heard that USAID was shutting down, so he had a dire warning. Today it's USAID. Next, it might be the IRS or the intelligence agencies.
Oh
yes,
no!
Let's do it.
I hope they don't do that.
Yes,
let's go.
Literally everyone's response is just saying, "Oh, that's terrible." What's wrong with defunding the IRS? Serious question. Is this supposed to scare me or give me a hard on? Don't threaten me with a good time. If Doge can shut down USAID, next it might be IRS or intelligence. Joke's on you. I'm into that shit. Yes, 100%. Agreed.
I love it. Defund it all. Fuck them.
So since we finally had a variety hour for the political stream, literally every week I could have a whole segment on how dystopian and full-blown Nazi Germany has become, and we finally have a quick little segment. Thumbs up lands woman in hot water as Germany cracks down emoji speech. They are now fining a woman 1,800 pounds for 3 emojis.
I am not shocked.
She replied with 3 emojis. Let's look at what horrible hate crime she did that to. Well, there's this heartwarming story about a 15-year-old Swedish girl who killed the migrant who tried to non-consensual her. So an absolutely heartwarming story of a young victim getting justice against the person trying to do horrible things to her. So absolute, just great story. And then someone commented, does he now have 77 virgins? Of course, for those who don't realize what the virgins means is Muslims are a bunch of pedos. All right. So essentially, he says, does he now have 77 virgins? And then she dropped 3 thumbs up emojis on that.
Were they different thumbs up? Because you can't just do the same emoji.
Was one of them a black thumbs up or a brown thumbs up?
So
good point.
See, I thought it was just, I know that was my next thought, was like, yellow? Is yellow okay? I don't know. So they said that she pressed it like 3 times, so it made it sound like she liked it, unliked it, and then reliked it.
Interesting.
Or something like that. So it's either that or it was just 3 thumbs ups in a row. And then of course they had to show up at her house. They said that it was in the emoji reaction amounted to endorsing the killing and expressing satisfaction that it had targeted a migrant. I fully support this killing, this 100% legal self-defense killing, 1000%, and I have extreme satisfaction that it was one of these fucking dirty third world invaders.
To be fair, I don't think it was a self-defense. I think it was an after the fact.
Oh, well then I still fully 100%
support absolutely.
It. Just like
I just wanted to clarify.
Father's Day, when everyone posted like the gift or the video of the dude killing like his the
absolutely
got his daughter.
I completely agree. I just wanted to, for clarity's sake, say I think this was an after the fact.
But as a 15-year-old girl, like pre-plotted to take care of her attack, like that's hard up. That's why I assumed it was during the act. But I extra support going vigilante to kill your abusers. Yes, 1000%.
Okay. By the way, Germany, real quick, I did go ahead and post in our chat here 3 laughing emojis after I saw that, and it's because I'm already banned from your country. I have been for like 8 years or something like that. So I'm not allowed there, so I can laugh at it.
Can I share my screen really quick, Erwin? This is what happens when we make an announcement on our Discord. How do I contact Germany so that people stop calling us gay in our Discord?
I like that you added the avocado in there as well. So Germany is in such a state that you literally aren't allowed to insult politicians. If you call them stupid, they will come arrest you. And they just when you thought maybe they're backing up, JD Vance had strong words with them. Maybe, over I think last weekend or whatever it was. No, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Got to do it nice and early. The Soviets like doing it late at night, so that way you were afraid to sleep in case the secret police might break in on you.
America also likes to do it at like between 2 and 4 a.m. So
make sure CNN is there when Roger Stone has like 70 SWAT guys come and arrest his old ass. Yes.
Yeah.
German police launched nationwide house raids against 170 citizens over hate speech and insults against politicians. Literally, if you were in Germany and you said Joe Biden is a retard and a likely pedo, they will come knock on your door and fine you lots of money for speaking the truth.
I got an email back in it was either 16 or 15 that told me that a tweet that I had put out violated laws in Germany and I could be arrested if I show up in the country.
That's how you know it was a really good tweet.
Yeah.
And then if you call them a bunch of Nazis, they will arrest you for if you use like a swastika to like make fun of them to call them Nazis, they then will actually like put you in prison.
Yeah.
There's a retiree who did like a meme or something with it and they're putting him in prison. And then the last one. So while they are being full-blown terrorists on par with Al-Qaeda, Bavaria puts AfD on extremism list. So Germany has been trying to ban AfD, which is now by polling the most popular party in the country. And the left are absolutely screwed. The only reason the AfD isn't in party is because all of the left and center combined together. They've done everything they can to try to ban the party, and it hasn't worked. So now the state of Bavaria, which is the state that Munich is in, so like a big important state in Germany, now they themselves put them on the extremism list. So if you want to become a police officer or teacher or whatever in the state of Bavaria, they can reject you for being a part of the AFD because you are part of a terrorist organization on par with Al Qaeda.
So the move here was that they put them on par with Al Qaeda, but previously they had already deemed them a terrorist organization. So they just bumped them up is all they really did and said, well, they're worse than we thought they were. But they've been saying the AFD was terrorist for a while.
That Germany itself did that. And then the state of Bavaria put them on the list of extremist or extremist influenced organizations, currently most popular political party in the country.
So they stole an election from them the last time they had an election. And people like Naomi Zeit, who she's a German girl in her like 20s that really smart politically. She moved to Italy because they started threatening to arrest her for being part of the AFD. And that was before they made them as bad as Al Qaeda.
That's the party that Elon Musk did the whole interview with Alice Weidel or whatever. Like that's that party. Like it's mainstream enough that like Elon's throwing support behind it. It's the most popular party in the freaking country.
It is the populist movement in Germany, and the German officials really don't like that.
And the same as like Marine Le Pen in France, and what was it, Poland? No, I think Poland they screwed some people, but it was whatever other country, Romania or whatever it was, where they arrested the candidate and then claimed he was part of some like neo-Nazi organization. Also, Europe is going full blown dictatorship, far less socialism.
Ironically enough,
there's a word for it, fascism actually.
They seem to be following the trajectory of the bad guys in World War II.
Correct.
Kind of crazy.
Did you have thoughts?
I think Bavaria needs to get back to growing hops.
Literally, that was my first thought. I was like, I don't know Bavaria, but I think they do beer.
They do.
That's where I think that's like where the majority of hops comes from.
Yep.
Hey, Seuss dropping in on a Tuesday. Literally just drops a pile of cash and walks away. Let's see if I can do it for you. Wait, GraphWeb just fucking showed up. What the hell? All right, let's see if I can do it. Come on, Jess. It's so fucking easy. And then GraphWeb, for fuck's sake, hashtag cancel Disney. We have to all do it together.
Okay. Half the channels I'm on, it's a solo ordeal. Half the channels
that counts, Scott.
Read the room, Hayden. Jeez.
I'm sorry.
You're just gonna have to settle for that one, Graph. I'll catch one for you too, or else Hayden has to sing. Hayden doesn't have to sing. God, I'm so hand-eye coordination. Okay, that was the last tab. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything. Got 19 super chats. Appreciate you. If anyone missed Gunho's password, write it down while you still can. ABF, what are you gonna be up to tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have Trigger Happy. Join us over there, the pre-Leighton Gay show. And don't be dropping any emojis in our Discord that make our announcements area look gayer than they should be. All right. Tired of it.
Yeah, it's
just a capital G, capital A, and a capital Y. What's so gay about those emojis? I don't understand.
Why in that order too?
Just letters.
That order followed by a pride flag. Like, come on, guys.
And then a trans flag every once in a while. That's the one that hurts the most.
Yeah.
B-Man, I got some great news for you. You guys can check back on Thursday for my F1 review and on Saturday for my Generation Kill review. Which, ABF, I'm glad you watched it because I was saving it till Saturday to talk about it because I thought you would want to. So I'm glad you got it fresh in your brain. There. Is that good enough for you, B-Man? I tried. ABF doesn't like trans flag.
You'd already know that, Isaac. Shut up.
Or should we say gay BF? Hayden, where are you going to be tomorrow?
So tomorrow I will probably be on Trigger Happy and then be on Leighton Gay with the GCA. But that's only going to be after several hours of playing Digimon World Next Order because I am obsessed with that game.
Is it the new one?
No. So this is the one that came out in 2023.
Is it multiplayer? Because Tomac gifted me the one that came right before. And if it's multiplayer, then we need to play some Digimon.
No, I think he gifted you Digimon Stories, which came out in 2019. This is Digimon World that came out in 2023.
Damn it.
But
I want to play some Digimons.
I'm having fun with it. I'm also catching up on
My
My Hero Academia.
The like one anime we both enjoy. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm watching season 2 here before long.
I'm on episode 90, season 5, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to be starting season 2 next.
As you start to watch it more, you'll understand what I've been saying about it, where I've said multiple times that it gets darker, because it's about season 3, season 4-ish is where the story and the tone actually starts to get a bit darker. And I know that as it goes on, it gets.
I want to see some kids die.
You will see your first death in season 4.
Boop.
I'll just say that.
Oh, come on. All right, B-Man, was that good enough? We talked about anime and everything for you.
Yep, we got it in.
Did I make B-Man happy? Please? Laughing Man. I bet Laughing Man likes anime. Wait, Hayden, you beat Expedition 33, right?
I haven't beat it yet. I'm in Act
Have you beat Act
3.
2? Okay,
yeah,
so you've got
I'm
the
in Act
big
3.
reveals. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I got the big stuff out of the way. I'm in Act 3, but then I got obsessed with Digimon again. Like, guess I was playing Expedition 33, and then other games came out, and I moved to those, and now I'm playing Digimon, and like I jump around all over the place.
I've been scattered all over the place right now too.
I feel you. I've been all over. Watched that one last night. Currently reading the Hobbit comic book that I'm freaking loving. I've been getting all sorts of member berries. And then I just got the member berry that I have to watch Ironheart. The last half fucking dropped today, and I just remembered.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
I wanted to end on a good note. All right, to end on a good note, Cindy Sweeney outro us. Thank you all for your support. You're so wildly generous. Thank you for showing up. You've all earned your Cindy Sweeney outro.